Hey guys, welcome to Fire Foods. In today's video, I'll be cooking ribeye steak using 3 different methods, and we're going to determine which one is the best at the end of the video. So let me show you how to do it, and let's make some fire foods. So I got these beautiful ribeye steaks that we're going to be cooking today. And as I said, I'm going to cook each one using a different method. So for my first steak, I'm going to cook it sous vide. And if you're not familiar with sous vide, all we do is we place our steak in a vacuum sealed bag, then put it in a water bath for a certain amount of time at a specific temperature. And after it's done, all we do is we take it out and we pat it down with a paper towel. Then we're going to sear the steak using my favorite new toy, which is the Benzematic Torch TS8000. So for the second steak, we're going to cook it using a cast iron skillet. We're going to get a nice sear in the steak, then we're going to add some butter, some aromatics, we're going to baste it using that butter, and trust me, it's going to be delicious. So for the last steak, I'm going to cook it on the charcoal grill using the reverse sear method, where we let the steak cook until it hits a specific internal temperature, then we give it a quick sear on both sides to get that perfect crust. So let's get started. We're going to season all 3 steaks with a very simple rub. I'll be using salt, black pepper, and garlic powder. Remember to season generously and don't forget to season on both sides. Ribeye steaks have a lot of flavors, so it's best to go with a simple seasoning so you can enjoy the flavor of the steak itself. After the steaks are seasoned, I'm going to start with the sous vide steak. Place the steak in a vacuum bag. Then add some fresh rosemary and thyme inside. Vacuum seal the bag using the vacuum sealer to make sure that it's sealed properly while it's in the water bath. Place the steak on a rack, then place it in the water bath. Set the sous vide machine on 133 degrees for 4 hours. For the charcoal grilled steak, I'll be using the reverse sear method. Place the steak away from the direct heat and let the internal temperature rise until it hits 128 degrees. Give the steak a quick sear on high heat to get the perfect crust. For the cast iron steak, preheat the cast iron skillet on high, then add oil and place your steak, but avoid moving it too much in order to develop that perfect crust. Leave it for about 2 minutes and the steak will let go when it's ready to be flipped. Now flip the steak. Then add some aromatics like fresh rosemary, thyme, and garlic cloves. Now lower the heat, then add half stick of butter and start basting the steak. The butter will lock in all the flavor and will also help to cook the steak faster. Now flip the steak one more time and look at that perfect crust. Beautiful. Now continue basting until the steak hits an internal temperature of 135 degrees. then take it out and let it rest. The sous vide steak is now done. Take it out from the vacuum bag. And remove the rosemary and thyme. Then pat it dry with a paper towel. All that is left to do is to give it a quick sear using the blowtorch to develop a great crust. Now it is time to cut the steaks and see how they turned out. Now that the steaks are done, it's time to taste them. Let's start with the sous vide steak. As you can see, it's medium rare all the way through. There's no gray marks around the edges. It's like a perfect steak. So let's try it out. Looks very tender. It's very juicy. Let's give it a try. Wow. It's amazing. It's really juicy. That sous vide really tenderized the steak, and that crust on top from the torch is beautiful, and the seasoning is on point. Let's try the cast iron steak. Has a good sear on the steak, and it's also juicy. Let's try it out. Wow, it's also very tender. That butter flavor, you can taste it right away from that basting. Rosemary, the thyme, the garlic, all that flavors combined. It's amazing. And it also has a good crust on the steak. It's phenomenal. Let's try the last one, which is the charcoal grill. Very tender as well. Let's give it a try. It melts in your mouth immediately. You can catch on that flavor from the charcoal. You can't really get that flavor with the other two steaks. It's a unique flavor I really like, I enjoy. And the seasoning is great as well. So yeah, they're amazing. So if you have a sous vide machine at home, you can always set it and forget it. You can set it at a specific temperature and it will be a perfect steak every time. So if you're in a hurry or you don't have time to cook, I would recommend you go with the sous vide steak. But if you want to cook indoors and you got some time in your hands, I definitely recommend the cast iron steak. It has an amazing flavor from the butter, the thyme, the rosemary, the garlic. It's amazing, but be careful from the smoke. Your alarm might go off. But if you enjoy that charcoal flavor like me, go ahead and cook your steak on the grill, because that flavor can be beat and you can get that flavor with the other two steaks. So I'll leave it up to you guys. Try these recipes at home and let me know in the comments below which way you prefer to cook your steak. And that's the end of the video, guys. Make sure to like, subscribe and click the bell to get notified for upcoming new videos. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.